Hello and welcome to the Stands at Ibrox. My name's Curry. I'll be your host for tonight. We've got a few things to go by. Obviously, the St Johnstone game, we'll be talking through that. But first of all, I'd like to welcome you all for coming to watch. I think you are all mental. But I've got my best pal back again, I'm glad to say, after doing a couple of solo pods that were a bit interesting. Scotty, how you doing, my man?
Aye, not bad at all, mate. Not bad at all. Thanks for having me back on.
Oh, you're more than welcome, mate. I certainly need you. I don't know if you've had a chance to watch the solo one I did the other day there. I went a bit mental. I'm actually surprised I've still got a channel, but that's how bad it goes. I was just one of the days, and I said, I need to do this. I said, I don't care if it's a solo, I'm still going to have a wee go. And it was quite funny because we actually get that I think it was about 15 to 20 people that came in. It was brilliant. A couple of hellos to all the usual guys that come in. They're Bluebells. How you doing, my man? Hope you're well. Prime time. I think he must be finishing his work early because normally at this time he's not usually in. Either that or he's just using it as an excuse. And there's RRM in the night. Three early guys that have come in to watch us two talk about our favourite subject. Right, get stuck right into this. I've got a couple of things to say before we do talk about obviously the St Johnstone game, mate. First of all, I hate doing this, but you need to do it. I've been told you watch all the different YouTubers, they all do it, and I need to do it as well. And it's a bit cringy, but I'll still do it. See if you hit that thumbs up button, it helps me. It really does. Every time you put a comment in, it helps me. Anytime you share it, it helps me. Anything I thought to try and help the channel grow a wee bit. I think I'm doing amazing already. I've got 163 subscribers. I thought I would never even get anywhere near that for at least about 6 months. So I think I'm doing really, really well. And it's thanks to you guys and obviously people like Scotty that come in and help me do the pod. So all I can say is thanks very much and sorry for begging again. Right. The St Johnstone game, mate.
Right, go for it.
Overall, what was your thoughts of the game? We'll do our usual to start. We've got a couple of things I want to change, but overall, what did you think of the game?
3 points on Abbey Road, wasn't it? It was nothing spectacular, but I thought the way we handled it, considering usually you can see a wee bit of a hangover. See when you've came for such an emphatic win like we had over Betis, and then follow that up by a big occasion like Hampden on Sunday, and where we won a trophy and get that over the line. There's always, especially with 2 days of rest. I mean, I'm assuming on Monday, the team must have been hungover. Because Clement says he was going to let them enjoy Sunday night in a controlled way. So for a fact that we've got to win. And St Johnstone under Craig Levein on the any wimps, by the way. Craig Levein used to give us a hard time when he was Dundee United manager, and I thought there was potentially a banana skin there. There's been times in the past where St Johnstone have come over and took points off us unexpectedly and all that, but we handled it. It was a professional performance. Job done. Obviously, it's bad news about the injury to Lundstrom, etc. I would imagine we'll speak about that later on, but it's job done. And Abbey Road need to go again. And Saturday, Sunday we play. I can't even keep track now. Do you know what? Saturday.
It's quite crazy the amount of games that we're having to play. I mean, you see the people on here are having to listen to my voice and see my face every couple of days. They must be sick of it already. But as you said, mate, it was a job. You went out there. It was a job done. We had a hard game against Betis. We had a hard game against Aberdeen. We into the last 16 to the Europa League, which is no mean feat at all, considering the state our club is in at the moment with players and injuries.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously the European picks that Beale had put in for us, he basically, for me, he left Clement with a pair of crutches, really. And I think he's come out sprinting. I think he's done really well. So to come against a stuffy side, we knew right before there was a ball kicked, it would be 2 banks of 10 throughout the match. But obviously, as you said, we'll talk about a couple of things for the game itself later on. It eventually became a bank of 9. The goalkeeper pulled off some good saves. I thought the team did all right. I don't think they were brilliant, but I thought did all right. It was a professional job. They got the job done. We get the most important thing, which was 3 points.
Gap.
That puts us
Close
2
the gap.
points behind them, and we've still got a game in hand. We'll obviously talk about the Motherwell game later on as well. But it's got another 2 really, really important games coming up. So all we can ask for is 3 points and then up the road.
Definitely.
Right. This is where I'm going to change the format a wee bit, mate. Normally we go through just certain players, right? I want us to go through each player, right? Give them a mark out of 10, right? Now, the mark out of 10, right? A 5 is they're actually going on the pitch, right? And just, they're there, right? Anything above that is how good they've been. And how bad they've been will be a below a 5, right? So I'm trying to get that where it starts as a 5 as you're coming on the park and you're doing your job, but you're not doing anything special, right? Is that all right?
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Go for it.
Right. So we'll start at the back.
Right.
Mr. Sunglasses and bathing suit and deck chair himself, because he may as well have had that. He should have just actually probably stayed in the house, right?
I know.
Mr. Super Jack Butland in goal, right?
Right.
March 10.
Used to be a 6, a 5 for getting on the park, and 1 for stoning there and being so good looking, I suppose. See, just a quick question after this, right? See if you went in, caught him in bed with your missus, you'd make him his breakfast or tuck him in or something, wouldn't you? You wouldn't even get angry. My missus loves him. She absolutely loves him. So he's fuck him in one morning, found him in bed with you, but ask him for his autograph, I think.
I don't know where to go with that, mate. Well, I'm glad to say that I'm single, so I don't need to worry about that happening to me. But
Prime Time just says it. Gets a 10 for being so handsome.
Aye, well, that's what I was about to say. I know. I'm to say a 5. It has to be a 10 out of 10 for me. Clean sheet, right? He rolled the ball out a couple of times, and he ran around about the box a few times, and he looked absolutely wonderful. So a 10 out of 10 has to be. No, seriously, you need to give him like a 7. You can't give him. You can't give him anything lower than a 7. Really, come on. That's just that RRM at least agrees with me. Right. So we'll go on to our captain, James Tavernier. What were your thoughts on him, and which score would you give him?
He's an 8 easy. Steady 8. Tav's turning on the performances just now. He assisted Dessers. That was a wonderful cross he put in for Dessers. And because it completely, I think it actually put a defender on his backside, didn't it? The defender couldn't catch it. He to head it clear. Dessers with a good finish. And then he steps up and Tav does what Tav does, buries a penalty.
Well, I thought, right, the usual, I'm going to go into a negative thing first with Tav, right? I thought he was all right. But as you said, he did put a good pass in and he got the penalty and he scored. So you can't ask anything more than that. I don't think he had much to do in defence because St Johnstone were they're nearly said that word again. I'm trying to stop saying shocking because I've noticed I've been watching the pods and that, and I keep on saying that word, and I need to try and stop saying it. I don't think they had a shot on target. They had 2 shots, as far as I'm aware, and one of them was a free kick that went miles out of the bar. But so they going forward, St Johnstone were rubbish. So I'll go the same with you, mate. I think it needs to be an 8 for Tav because I do think that he did put in a lot of good balls. I can see. Did you see a lot more? He looked a lot more confident in this game.
Aye. Tav's an enigma at best of times, Corey. If he can come out and win a few trophies over the next few years, he cements his legacy for me. He led the team really well on Sunday in the cup final. I mean, he scored the winner. It does what a captain should be doing. This is what I've been demanding of him since the beginning of the season when I started questioning his captaincy. He's kind of shutting me up, to be fair to him. As long as he keeps doing what he's doing, I can't see any problems going forward with him.
I agree, mate. Well, RRM said, come on, Curry, Tav can score a hat trick in the Champions League final. You would still say he was okay. Actually, I'm coming away, and I think you probably tell by a few of the what's happened over the last few games we'd have. I've actually not been as bad as I normally am with him. He, as you said, Scotty, he's winning me around, and I thought he was a lot more confident looking in this game, and he did play some nice football. And as you said, the good old penalty to Rangers and slots it in the bottom left hand corner. You can't do any more than that. Actually, when it happened, I actually thought he was going to let Dessers take it. But then I was thinking to myself, to have letting somebody else take a penalty, no chance.
Well,
So
I think he made that mistake in the League Cup final. Celtic beat us 1-0, didn't he? He gave it ball to Morelos, and Morelos missed it, so he's not doing it again.
but that's Morelos, right? So in fact, he's not getting any. I'm not going to give him any because I'm not bad with Tav. I'm giving him a 7 because you never gained. Because you should have gave for me. You should have gave Dessers that penalty. There's everybody in chat. Shut your face, Curry. So we'll go over the other side. This was one of the 5 changes that we made. Yilmaz come on for Borna Barisic. What was your thoughts and your score for him?
Didn't think Yilmaz was great, to be honest with you. Didn't really offer much pass. Some of his passing, I think his passing percentage must have been a bit woeful last night. I guess a 5 for being on the park, but there's not really much else I can add. I mean, he's had very little impact, but then what we all need to remember is these guys are coming in after playing very little football because Clermont's been sticking with kind of the same team the past 5 or 6 matches. So if you're not match fit and you're not match sharp, sorry, they're match fit, but if you're not match sharp, then you're going to get wee things like that, aren't you? So a 5 or a 6 for me.
Right, well, I would go a 6, mate. The reason I'm giving him a 6 is because he didn't hide and he kept on trying. And I think you're right there. His passing wasn't that great. His first touch was really, really bad. I think I've seen somebody on Twitter was saying his second touch of the ball was a tackle, and I need to agree with him there. But the thing is, he kept on trying, and he didn't hide. He didn't dare Borna Barisic. Borna Barisic is a nightmare for hiding in games. If he doesn't get a good start, he's got a habit of disappearing in games. So at least he never ghosted the game. So I'm going to a 6. I think RM is going for a 6 as well. So I think that's fair enough, mate. I think, as you said, I think you were right. Now we'll go into the centre defence. We'll start with Mr. Goldson. How do you think he did?
6 again. Steady Eddie. Clean sheet. Never done anything spectacular. Got forward whenever he could. I think it's going to be the same way for the whole defence, to be honest. Just done my job.
I think that's the same. I'm going to give him a 6 as well. It's actually verging in a 7 because anything that did come their way, they dealt with it. So that it's really hard. It's really hard to give the defence any marks at all because St Johnstone offered so little. Mm-hmm. So we'll go on to the other change that we made. My second change out of the 5. But Sooty come in. How do you think he did? Am I boring you, mate?
No, mate. I've been up for 4:30 this morning. I'm just tired. Sorry, pal.
You need to tell that wife of yours to leave you alone. We all know that because you had to get up for work, mate. Sorry about that. There's no need for
that. Sooter's probably the same. 6 again. He's steady Eddie again at the back. Done nothing brilliant, but he didn't do anything bad either. So, aye, fair enough.
Yeah, same again, mate. I thought he was, for what he needed to do, he got it done. I don't think either Goldson or him really put any brilliant balls in or anything like that, or any decent crosses. I think it was just total average. So this is going to be born, but it's going to be a 6 for me, I know. Bluebells has went, actually, he's went to me a 7 virgin and an 8 for City. So I suppose he does deserve an extra match, so maybe a 7 because he's just back in again. And from what I can remember, I don't think he made any mistakes at all. So that's not bad. And then RRM, we 6. So we'll move into the midfield, mate. And we had. We won't talk about what happened, but just he's up until then the what happened with the injury, right? The tackle. Lonnie. But you can a Lonnie.
Probably a 7. He was playing really well. And for the fact he stayed on it after such a bad tackle like that and tried to carry on, shows you there is a level of commitment there for Lundstrom. We all know there's a level of commitment there these days. So 7 for me.
Totally agree with you, mate. Again, it's I'm just going to follow you. It's just like a parrot here at 7, and their prime time as well, a 7. I thought he was bossing that midfield, and even when after he get down with that tackle, I still think he was doing really, really well. So I was quite surprised after the fact. But as I said, I'll try and keep that to when we're going to talk in that section, because we will discuss some of the refereeing decisions and the tackles and injuries to the squad. Their RRM he's put in 7.5. So I think I'll tell you what, it's actually surprising because between the two of you and the chat, we're all around about the same level. So we must be right. So maybe we should be in the job, say, looking after Rangers. What do you think, mate? Maybe no.
No, me and you get papped after the first morning. Too much.
I'd be lucky if I lasted 10 seconds, mate. There's no chance I would be allowed in that place, especially if they watched especially if they watched that last pod that I did myself.
You'd be in cutting up Tav's suit.
He cut his jersey. Oh, God. Right. Another person that came in for the dark, actually. We've not seen him for a while. Me personally, I was glad to see him, but we'll go through that. Dale, what was your thoughts on Dale, mate?
I thought he played quite well. I'm going to give him an 8 because managed to fill 90 minutes. Never had. Played some good passes forward. Mixed up a wee bit, get stuck in. I thought it was a good solid performance of Dale.
I'm the same. I'm going to go. I'll go probably an 8. I'll go for an 8. And the only reason I said an 8, I was going to go a 7.5, but I don't want all this half stuff. I'm going to stick with solid numbers. March 73, he said 8 as well. RRM, he's a 7. Now, Dale's a player that I do rate, right? I've seen him before he came here, and I think Shona Faye, the gallant few, she had a few words to say about him before he came in. So I did a bit of checking on him, and she rated him better than Cantwell. Now, I watched him, and I thought he was really good. If he's better than Cantwell, I'm not too sure, because I don't think he's proved it at Rangers yet because of the injuries. But what I seen a guy that was willing to go into a tackle, and I think he get 4 out of 6 of the key balls put through were successful.
Mm-hmm.
So he done his job. So it has to be an 8 for him. And I think he's going to be important for us now, especially with the injuries. So I'm glad he did well. So on to the next player, and that was, we've seen him before, but that's him. I think he's starting to cement a place in the midfield, and that's Sterling. What do you think about him, mate? Do you think he's starting? Am I just?
But do John Bassey you talking about?
What?
Do John Bassey?
Did you? I'm like, but who are you on about?
Guy's absolutely outstanding. I'll tell you something, right? I've shouted before saying Tav's a good football player and he would be good in the middle of the park. Right? I still believe that to this day. But see what Clement has seen in Sterling to move him into midfield. The guy you see on Sunday, see the tackles he was throwing in. Like I says on a pod last week, Curry, we needed them in Midley Park because that boy Shinnie for Aberdeen had one too many laughs over in midfield in the past. Sterling get right in amongst it, man. It was the same again last night. He was an 8 for me. He was absolutely solid when he came in. And that's just for coming in at half time. I really like him, really rate him. I just hope he can stay fit and get a run of games in the Midley Park, because we're talking about his player trading model. He's somebody that could go for a few quid in years to come.
Right, he was another player I was excited about when we were linked to him. A good young player. He is. He's an absolute. I think it was the Bluebells was saying. I think it was Bluebells. He's a unit. He is. He's a big back boy. He's fit. He's athletic, and he can take a shot, which I'm more than happy for him to take, because that was a couple of shots he had last night as well that were probably heading in the back of the net if it hadn't been for a St Johnstone player or a St Johnstone bus or a St Johnstone camper van.
Corey, know it would be a good pod during the break, during the winter break, would be we should come on and we should assess all the signings that Beale made in the summer. Because see now that we're going through them and you're seeing them, the only one I think folk would probably have something negative to say about would be Lammers. I don't really think that the transfer window was as bad as what we've all been making out for these past few months. We could go through every individual signing that we made.
We will do that. I was planning on doing that, mate. But I think what you said maybe be right, but not under Beale. Because he had enough time with these players and he never utilised them in the proper way.
Aye, 100%.
The only reason we're seeing what we're seeing right now, I think, is because of Phil Clement. Because he is a proper manager.
I would agree.
He's a proper footballing coach. He's got a football brain. Because
see if you're assessing these guys on like as a signing though for the summer. I mean, it's all the ones that come in. Dowell and Sterling, for example, if retransfers have probably been my best. The ones that have cost money haven't really kicked their own arse. And Danilo, Dessers and Lammers, if we're honest about it, you know what I mean? So it would maybe whip up a good pod. Good subject for a pod.
Aye, well, that's what we'll do that, mate. What I'll do is I'll put a wee question in the community tab and hopefully get some folk involved, and then we'll go for there, my man.
Cool.
The Bluebells are Blue are saying realistically we could go into the Old Firm with Dowell and Sterling in centre mid and Dessers up front. Who'd have seen that coming 3 weeks ago? And aye, they would have. And if they said aye, they'd be lying.
Is it a bad thing?
Definitely not, mate. Definitely not, mate.
Definitely not.
For me, I heard one of the other pods saying that the way Sterling is type of player he is, a utility player, it's not a good thing in a football side. I think it's perfect because he's proved that at least for me, I think he's proved he's already played in 4 different positions and he's done decent to brilliant in every single one of them. So for me, it was an 8, verging on a 9 last night. I thought he was brilliant and he coped well with St Johnstone midfield that were out to hit people as hard as he could, and he stood up to it and he made sure that he never wilted away like a certain other player that we'll talk about later on. So then we'll go to our favourite youngster now, wee Ross McCausland. What did you think of his performance last night?
7, solid. I think what you're getting at Ross McCausland every week is at least a 7, just because his ball carrying ability and the lack of fear to take a team on. It's not just a player he takes on; it's a team. He runs through like 5 or 6 guys. If there's a low block going to go, Ross McCausland will try and run through it. And we've not got that. The basics of football, skinning a player. We've all done it like years and years ago when we played. You beat a man, you create a chance. Ross McCausland can do that. It's a solid 7 for me.
I think he's a brilliant wee player, and I think he'll go far, whether it's at Rangers or another team. I could actually see him going to bigger teams in the future. The only downside I think with wee Ross is that he is wee Ross. He's so slight, he can be pushed off the ball a bit too easy. But as you said, he can go by players at ease. So, again, God, this is really, really boring. Sorry, guys. I need to go for a 7 and all, mate. And as you said as well, I think it's going to be for him. He's going to be a consistent 7 every single game. He's that type of player. Now we'll go on to the other side. Our man Seema last night was. How would you score him last night, mate?
6. I think the guy's tiring. I think he needs a break, to be brutally honest. I'd need to go for a 6 because he didn't produce any good, but he still put in a graft and got another 90 minutes under his belt. But you look at Lundstrom and that tackle. That's my main concern is for Seema is that we're going to get another injury, to be honest.
Sorry, mate. I burst out laughing there. Sorry, buddy. Sterling knows more positions than my wife. Absolutely brilliant. See, for that alone, RM, I'm going to give you a 10 out of 10, mate. That was a quality comment. That made me laugh. Like, that's supposed to be me that does things like that. Brilliant, mate. For me, I need to go with you, and I need to go with the people in chat as well, mate. 6 out of 10. I thought he was really quiet last night. There was a couple of things he tried, but I think you could tell that he was struggling a wee bit last night. But I think it might be a lot to do. I think he gets one better with Bonabarasic on the left than he did with Yilmaz, because Seema is usually in that position. Where Yilmaz was coming in last night, he was doing like what Tav's doing now. He's good in the wing and coming in. Where Seema was getting left out of the game quite a lot. So I think he probably plays better with Borna, which is it's weird to say, but I need to agree. He was. I'm going to give him a 7, mate, because I can't give him a 6 because he was trying. So I'm going to up it at least 1 anyway. Right, now, I think we've been through everybody except I think that most people will think the biggest surprise at Ibrox. So let's talk about Dessers. What was your thoughts on him?
8. Big man's trying. So I've ever wanted of him. Run the channels, work your defenders, score your chance. Done it all. 8 out of 10. It's as easy as that.
I actually think you're quite harsh, actually, mate. By far his best performance for me since he came into Rangers. I've always said from the very beginning, I was always hoping that he'd be able to bring something more, be able to show us what he could be really capable of. And although I don't think that he's got that yet, he's not got to the position where he's hit the heights where he should be. I think he was trying hard. Scored a brilliant goal. Basically got an assist for Tav for his goal. I thought he did really well rounding the keeper, and he did well to make sure that the keeper touched him to get down. He showed a bit of intelligence, and there was a couple of other good way throughs that he did, and he also laid off the ball, which I thought was brilliant onto Lammers. Lammers should have, thought he maybe have took a touch to that, then bluttered it, but he never. He just had it first time. It was a good shot. Keeper pulls off a save, but never. I could have probably saved it. It was near enough right at him. So that's him right now. What do I go on to two other players that were on the pitch, right? Now I'm going to leave Wright out of this, right? But because in fact I'm going to say, what about Wright? We'll go to Wright first.
A 5 for turning up and getting on.
I need to agree with you. I think everybody. Yeah, I thought he was. I don't think he was on the park. He was on the park for about 10, 15 minutes, and I don't think he even got a touch of the ball. He get one. He basically did a Lammers. He got the ball and he ran right through, and he get crowded out, which he's got a habit of doing. And everybody in chat as well, they're saying 5 as well. Evening, Stuart. Hope you're well, mate. You're a bit late to the show. I don't know if that's a yellow card yet. So we'll need to watch. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to leave this to the end, but I'm going to talk about a man that has not yet showed up for Rangers. Sam Lammers, mate. Is he a Rangers player?
Nope. Nope, not in the slightest. Like I've said before, I've tried to get the guy, I've even wrote an article on him to try and find a way that we can get him to play. And he's just definitely not got it. Curry's, it pays well leaving in January because I don't know how you can get anything off him because he's shown nothing. There's literally nothing between the ears with the guy. I'm struggling to see any kind of positives with him. I thought if we kind of overloaded the box net at time, then we would have been able to get him into the box and he could have an impact. And he's done it, but he's not done it to good effect. He's missed big chances in big games. He's scored a cracking goal at Dundee. That's really all about. I could maybe see him coming in making an impact in Europe, but he's just had about 8 to 10 matches in Europe there between the Europa League and Champions League qualifiers, and he's done nothing. So I don't know where he fits in, like what he offers, all that kind of stuff.
I know one thing he does offer, mate. He's not a number 10. He is not a number 10.
He's not a centre forward either, or a winger.
Aye.
So well, I think if we can get anything back from him in January, then there will be teams in Holland that will come and look at him. There will be teams in Italy. There will be teams in Germany that will take him. There will be teams in because there is a player in there. I just don't think he's suited to Rangers, and I think it's a shame, but that's a failed signing. A 5 for turning up and playing, and that's because I've got to give him a 5. I'd probably give him a 2 or a 3 if I was being really harsh.
Well, I'm going to go with your 2 or 3, mate, because I was watching Lammers last night, and one of the guys from another pod, they were at the game, and they said they took time to watch out, and they basically said the exact same as what I'm about to say. Sam Lammers does not know how to read football at all. He's not got a footballing brain. He looks like a rabbit in headlights. He really does when he goes on. He's just like that, and I think he's the guy's in another planet. As soon as he goes in the pitch, he's no with it at all. Now, he doesn't go towards the ball. I think there was one occasion he actually chased the ball down, and I was like, "Oh yes, that's him," and then he never did it again. There was a ball went into the box. Now, the ball came to him. Now, if he'd went towards the ball, he would have got it, and he could have probably scored. He didn't. He stood there and he waited till the other player reacted. Then he reacted, and I'm like, "Do you want to keep up? You're about 10 seconds behind everybody else, mate." I thought he was awful. I thought he was really, really awful, and I'm really getting a wee bit sick and tired of him putting in the same performance. I know the only reason he's there is because of numbers. That's the only reason he is getting a game now, and that's only the way I can think of it. Timmy Falcomon's doing it is because we've not got the numbers. Try and give the other players a rest, but for me, he is not a Rangers player in any way, shape, or form, and I'm going to give him a really, really disappointing 3 out of 10, and I think that's even me being generous. I don't see it at all. The last guy I'm going to talk about is, I think we all know, the one guy we've missed out so far is Kemar Roof. He's done, mate, isn't he? He's done. That's it.
He's done, but just I'm getting Kemar Roof a benefited out, right? I watched the Rangers review earlier on the members pod, and Johnny McFarlane was on it. And I really, really rate Johnny McFarlane. Like, I could listen to a guy all day. I think he's class. What he says is he done a 15-minute interview with Kemar Roof at the beginning of the season. And I'm talking about him as a human being here. I'm not talking about him as a Rangers player or his injury record or nothing else. Johnny McFarlane said that this guy is not at it. When he done his interview, you could see how genuine he was. He wanted to play for Rangers week in, week out. desperate to score goals, real appetite for a club, real fondness for a club. Loves it, absolutely loves it. So, and I'm quite sad about it now, to be brutally honest with you, that I think he is done. He was never going to get a new contract anyway because his injury record. He went away in the summer and they got his hip fixed that had been causing him a bit of bother and whatever else. And his body's just breaking down at any given time. He starts to get a wee bit of momentum. You need to feel sorry for him as a guy trying to do his job, and he can't do his job because X, Y, and Z keeps happening. In terms of his performance last night, right, well, I don't even want to rate his performance last night because my heart, honestly, because my heart goes out to a guy because he's turned up and bet he's scored as a winner, got his first win in Spain. He's got I'm just looking at that comment here. He's came up trumps before in big matches. We all know he's probably still the best striker at a club. But he's not got the I think the mind's there, but the body's not, if that makes any sense. His body's just breaking down on him. I do genuinely feel sorry for him. I'm not going to sit and slate him. What's the point in sitting slating him in his injury record? Because where does it go? And I'm looking at James Quinn's comment here. It's not Kemar Roof's fault that Rangers offered him that contract. Do you know what I mean? He's just signed it, and it's not his fault he's getting injured 24/7. That's just my view on it. I genuinely feel it for a guy because I think he just wants to get into his work and do well. And for whatever reason, I think he should probably retire at the end of the seasons. I can't see anybody touching him, never mind Rangers.
At last, we disagree on something. Oh, I thought that the whole night we've been agreeing with each other, mate. And we've been best buddies. Now I've got something I can the two of us can shout at each other now.
Right, go for it.
And you can tell me I'm talking pish. Yes! I've been waiting for this all night.
I can already tell you you're talking pish because I'm always right.
Sponsor break. Better wet the whistle before I get through this with you, young man.
Go in.
Do I feel sorry for Roof? No. Nope. He's paid very good wages. There's been absolute fortunes spent on him, on specialists, through the medical team. He's been all over the world trying to sort himself out. Is he a brilliant striker? Clinical? Aye. He scored the greatest goal I've ever seen in my life. And it's a pity. I don't feel sorry for him. I feel pity for him. Because obviously it's not his fault that his body has gave up. But I think that, as you said, it's time he needs to retire from football. The reason I'm saying this, mate, right? Now, see if he'd got a bad tackle or anything like that last night, I would have said then, aye, that was unfortunate, or that was unlucky, or it's not really, you couldn't be helped, so I would feel sorry for him. But it wasn't, mate. The first swear word of the night, he fucking kicked the ball and he injured himself, mate. There's something no right there. There obviously there's a deeper problem with Kima. Now, whether it's his mindset or what, I just can't see how anybody just kick a ball after 15 minutes. Maybe at the end of a match and that, you're knackered and you pull a muscle and something like that. Fair enough. But after 15 minutes, just, I don't know. I'm sorry, Kima. You gave me the best goal I've ever seen, ever, in the Rangers side, I think. And there's been some cracking goals over your history. But he needs, this summer, he's out. Is his contract end this year coming, mate? Aye. I can't see it getting renewed anyway. And to be perfectly honest, what I would be doing is I would be seeing how much it costs to get rid of him early, because there's absolutely no point in being at the club now, because you can't even trust him to go on. Even if he gets fit again, you can't trust him to go on the part in the 90 minutes. Christ, you can't last 15 minutes. But put it this way, Santa Claus spent more time in the pitch last night than he did. So again, I'm not same as you, mate. I'm not going to give him a mark. I think it's unfair to give him a mark because he was barely on the pitch to give him anything, and I don't know how much money he's getting. The GR 56 in there, he's on about 25,000 a week.
Him and Lawrence are on 25 each.
Right. Well, see, I don't know how people know how much these players get, because I never ever seen them getting advertised or saying anything.
That's a rumour.
It's speculation, the rumour, aye. So I don't know how much they're getting, but no doubt it is roughly about that mark. So aye, it doesn't even matter. Even if he was getting 10, 15,000 a week, he needs to be took off the books, and he needs to be shifted in the winter, because I'm hoping for at least one or two strikers coming in. I see there was a name linked today. I can't remember, a Portuguese guy. Did you see that? Silva, that's it. Aye, he's a Wolves player. We've seen that.
I wouldn't move on for Roof yet. I need to disagree with you on something you said.
Well, it doesn't matter. You had your no. The way this works is you get to say your piece, I get to say my piece. That's it. This is no some kind of fucking modern democracy here, mate. You have your say, I have my say. This is no Harvard, right? Or any big fancy university down south where we have a debate, right?
The podcast, that's what it's all about. It's a fucking debate. And it's not
on you go then. Have your say,
fault,
but you're wrong.
It's not Kamara's fault what Rangers have offered them when they've gave him that contract. It's not Kamara's fault. Rangers have been in and made the bid. Rangers knew fine well that he'd only played between a quarter and a half of the games that Anderlecht signed when he signed for Vincent Kompany. Rangers knew what his record was at Leeds. Leeds are my English team. I know what his record was at Leeds. And I says it from the start, his calves were knackered. So that was his calves when he signed. It's turned out to be his hip now. That's what I'm saying. The guy's completely done. But it's not his fault. Rangers have offered him his contract.
I think you maybe picked me up wrong there, mate. I'm not saying that it's Timmy Roof's fault for getting 25 grand a week. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that he's done. It's just I don't feel sorry for him because he's not been able to play. It just happens. It's just why these things like it could happen. It doesn't matter whether you're playing football or you're at a call centre.
I think see the way he was getting managed under Gerrard, there's a way to manage him. And I think Beale would have done the same way this season. Managed him in that way. But Clement wants everybody to be super fit and have no injuries. But it's not really working out that way, do you know what I mean? See when you're talking, say Lawrence and Roof are on 25 grand a week each, right? That's 200,000 a month. 5 months, that's £1 million that's coming out of their coffers. This is a shite that needs to stop. It's absolutely horrendous. I'm seeing the comments that Roof should just get paid off in January. What's the point? Because we're not going to... That comes out of next season's... If we're going to use his wages, that comes out of next season's budget. So we're as well laying on where he is unless somebody comes in from, which isn't going to happen. Let's be honest about it.
So it's not going to... Either way, it's not going to change anything, mate, is it? So,
no, it's not going to change nothing. So you're as well having him on the books and bringing him in like you need...
somebody play for your Tiddlywinks team. He'd probably get injured fucking playing in Tiddlywinks. He'd probably sprain his thumb.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can still bring him in like you did against Betis and let him have that impact. Let him score a goal off a bench and whatever. You might get that at the end of the season. He might score as a goal that wins as a league. We don't know because he comes on for 2 minutes.
Aye. I mean, see, as I say, I'm getting back to my word here, right? I think it's done. I'm just pissed off with him, mate. Because I'm fed up seeing the same thing.
I'm past the point of being pissed off.
But we need to remember that he basically paid his wages for the last 2 seasons, with that goal against Betis. So I don't. It does. I'm just bloody fed up. Excuse me, fed up with it. So yeah, well. So we'll get this away. we'll change subject. Bubble said 100k a month, 1.2 million a year. Would we pay that full would we need to pull that full contract off? No, so we'd probably come out with a wee bit more money. I really don't know, but he put it this way, I think his football career is basically finished as a professional football.
Aye.
As I said, maybe if he takes up tiddlywinks and he
He
sprains.
might get a contract somewhere that pays you play deal, Curry, but I don't think them deals exist anymore. But in terms of a guy still having a career, he could maybe go down to Championship, League One. Somebody might give him a turn there. But that's about as good as it's going to get from Hank. And that's me being as optimistic as I can possibly be for him.
Aye. So that's I actually meant to put that up there. We're talking about the injuries. The guy that's probably one of our most consistent players, our best players over the last four games, maybe the last two, let's say, maybe month and a half, since Philip Clement came in, has been John Lundstrom, mate. The guy's seen a new lease of life. He's been absolutely brilliant in commanding that midfield place. I've not got a bad word to say about him. I thought he's been outstanding. He had a tackle and the referee gave a yellow, it went to VAR and it was changed over to a red. Now, I'm going to put my hand up, as always. When I first seen it, I thought it was a bit of a reckless challenge in that, in the yellow, and I was like, oh, right, a yellow. Then it showed the replay. Now, I never seen it because the camera at the time was quite a bit away, and I just seen Lonnie go up in the air. Now, there was a linesman less than 5 yards away from him, and a referee that was watching right next to where it happened, and he gave a yellow. What's going on, mate? What is going on? That was a red all day long, and it didn't need to go. It should have never have went to VAR in the plus. But we got the result that happened in that. The referees are relying on VAR to get to cover their arse.
See, I will say about it. See, if Lundstrom keeps his leg planted, see an emotional tackle, you see Lundstrom lifting his leg, and thankfully he does, or else he's broke his leg.
That was a leg breaker, mate. Is this? I was talking to somebody earlier on. See if that boy isn't sanctioned for that and gave at least a 5-game ban. There's something going wrong with football. There really is, because it was a shocking tackle. If that had been a Ranger player, if that was Morelos or if it was Ryan Jack that was doing, or Todd Cantwell that did a tackle like that on somebody, you can guarantee that would have been straight up to them above, and they would have got at least a 5-game ban for that.
I know. It wasn't good, was it? Wasn't good.
What Bluebells are saying there. Sorry, mate.
I just need to hope that I think Clement's got a press every morning, so we'll find out tomorrow the extent of injuries. I think they were going to assess it today. So we just need to hope it's not as bad, because we can't losing Lundstrom for now to 2nd of January. I mean, see, if you look at it, it's only just under 2 weeks until the winter break. So if you look at it, it's in context, that's fine if we've only got 2 matches to play, but we've got about 17 matches to play between now and then, and it's probably came at the worst time possible for us. Lundstrom's been our best player for Clement's got Mr. Thursday Night back again. And the fact that he's out now, and considering the depth we've got in midfield, I mean, does that bring a need now to bring a centre mid in January, as well as a striker, as well as a winger, as well as a decent centre back?
Yeah, exactly, mate.
Goldson, it's because,
and obviously, what we were talking about before, we've spoken about this. We're not going to get the numbers that we think we're going to get. I think we might. I don't know what we've got planned, because this is a weird thing, because the big difference between him and Bale, by this time last year, we all knew half the players that were coming in, because all the rumours had started, or Bale had left wee nuggets there to give a clue who was coming in. But with Big Phil, we know nothing at all of the players that we're linked with or looking for. All we know is we know the positions that we want as fans, that we think needs improved, but we don't know what's going to. But he thinks he might think completely different for us. Was going to say something to you, mate. And I went right off the track. It was about the injury. Do you like this? Is see when he got up and he played the rest of the half, and I thought he was all right for the rest of that half.
Aye.
Do you think Big Phil's playing a wee bit of mind games here?
Could be, but no. In fact, no. I don't see when you think back. Clamont's kind of post-match press conference.
Oh, he was raging. Oh, aye, he was absolutely raging.
And that he's lost another player to injury. I think Lundstrom stayed on, and then when they've got him in the dressing room, they've had to stop him from playing. Hopefully, they've done it out of caution. But just looking back at the title and looking at the pain Lundstrom's in, could be a calf tear, because that's how high up it is. It's in his calf.
I certainly hope that he gets all right. The guys are saying in the chat and that, I hope we get him back for the Old Firm game, because I think we'll need him, and I think the way that they are just now, I think they could be get got at, but we'll wait. We'll not talk about the game against them yet. We'll talk about that in a later pod, mate. Now, let's go into 50 minutes in. We've not even spoken about the next game. We've got Motherwell. Now, for me, Motherwell are not playing good. I've got a lot of where I stay. There's obviously I've quite a few Motherwell supporters, guys that I know are Motherwell supporters. Now, they're not happy with the way they're playing. They're actually saying that this is the worst Motherwell side they've had in a few years. It's at Sitford Park, which can be, we've struggled at now and again, not very often, but every now and again Motherwell manage to put in a performance. But with what the guys are saying, the boys for the well, what they're saying is that they've got no hopes. They're just going to be hanging on, and it'll be another St Johnstone-esque type of game, and that's going to be basically defence. So, is there anything you want to discuss about the Motherwell game, mate?
I think as long as we keep the boy, is it Beereth, the loanee, it's on for Arsenal, we can keep him quiet. I think we'll be on to something. I think we should get 3 points and over the road again. I can't see it being too much of a problem, but I'm cautiously optimistic, if that makes any sense. I'm a Rangers supporter. I'm not getting carried away with myself. I really want to get carried away with Rangers and how we're playing just now, but sometimes you just think there's a banana skin and there's the right point somewhere in the corner. See, when you start to feel comfortable with Rangers, something happens. It's just, that's how I'm always dead. I try and be as realistic as I can. Just seen that latest comment there for Gers 56, need to give some youth players a shot on Sunday. No, we don't, mate. We need to go and just play the best possible team and get 3 points and down the road.
Aye.
Don't just keep going until international break, and then we can. I keep saying international break, winter break, and then we can get players back. But hopefully we'll get a job done. Motherwell on there, a great side. We could have played them at a worse time in terms of towards the beginning of the season, because they were really firing. They were playing really well. Gave Celtic a really good game at Fir Park. Recently get points off them at Parkhead as well, I think. But I fancy us to get a job done just by the way we're playing.
Well, I'd love to say the same with the Gers 56 says. We need to give some of the youth players a shot on Sunday. I need to agree with you, mate. Although I'd love to agree with the Gers 56, I need to agree with you more, because I don't think we can risk it now. I know what you say, we're down to bare bones, and that's what the problem. We need to make sure that our best 11 are up there. If there's any youth got to be in, it'll probably be on the bench, I would suggest, and then use them. If we go 2-3-0 up, by all means, get them on as soon as possible. Give them some minutes. Whether that's going to be any use at all other than experience, because I don't think many of the youth will get a chance against that mob, especially at their ground. So I've always been a big.
The only youth player could maybe come in King at centre defensive mid, but if you get Sterling that can play that role, then I don't really see a need.
Aye, I see what you're saying, mate. Aye, I think the only guy we'll be using at that will be McCausland. There'll be the only one.
Aye, McCausland, aye.
And I think maybe, I don't know, I think Lovelace is nearly there. He's playing on the grass now, but
he's on the pitch again, aye, but
he's on the pitch. So maybe he's got 9 days to get fit. I mean, see, he'll need to be, because that'll be the only other striker we'll have, because either that or it will just be Dessers, and that's it. We won't even have a striker on the bench. Because is there any other the younger boys that are strikers now? Because I don't know any at all.
There's a boy that's playing for under 18s that's worth a look at. Grimes, I think he's called.
Aye, that's right. Aye.
He's going for fun, but he is nowhere near ready to come in and make an impact.
Under 18s, isn't it, mate? So
there's no chance he's ready. I think he's played the odd game for a B team as well. He's at that level. Good on it, boy. But this is where, like, Ryan Hardy got a bad injury down at Plymouth. He was scoring goals for Plymouth in the Championship at the beginning of the season. This is where you need somebody of that ilk that can come in, who's your backup striker, that's always fit, that can come in and score goals in the league, that knows the league. But we've just not got that. And we've spoken about Shanklin to the blow in the face. I don't think that deal's happening anyway. So I don't really know who else you bring in up front. I think the only other option you've got is moving Sema through the middle, playing Matondo on the left. Matondo hasn't really done much if he's been back, though. He's not really getting any. I would just stick with Dessers on Saturday, and then you just need to kind of go for there.
And just hope he doesn't get injured.
If we can get 1 or 2 goals up, then bring him off and maybe put Matondo through the middle or move Sema.
Aye.
Something, but that's how likely.
But if we manage to get a couple of goals, and I think it's still something we're still no. I don't think we're being clinical enough up front, mate. And I think that's what the problem is. If we can maybe score 2 or 3 goals, then we can maybe think about putting the fringe players on, giving them minutes and trying to prove themselves that if it comes down to it, they're there for the Old Firm game, right? Aye. So I'm going to push you. Go for a score, mate. What's the score you're looking for?
2-0 Rangers. I'm going to go see my double.
See my double. Yeah, do we get into the start, mate? Aye,
I think he'll start, and I think he'll maybe be off like the 70th minute. I think he will get subbed on Sunday with Dessers, but I think I see my double on Saturday. Sorry, see my double.
Right.
2-0.
Right. Well, I'm going to go one more than you. I'm going to go 3-0, and I think it'll be our man Dessers again that will get a goal.
Fair enough.
The first goal. I think he's been doing really well. I think his confidence. There's just something lovable about the guy. He's certainly not in big fashion territory just yet, but I'm just glad that he's managing to score goals that are not hitting off his arse or hitting off his back or hitting off his knee. It's just good that he's actually scoring proper goals. Again, he put the ball underneath the keeper again. It's as if he actually looks for it. It's just, I'm just hoping that he does something for us on. Oh God, what day is the 30th?
Saturday.
24th.
Oh,
24th.
Saturdays we're playing Motherwell, and I think it's the following Wednesday.
Aye.
So we're aiming Ross County, and then it's Saturday or Sunday we play Celtic.
So a couple of the guys in the chat, RRM's going for 2-0. Our man Staunchy. Hi there, Sharpie. How you doing, mate? Nice to see you. 3-1. Rangers, Dessers, Cardwell. He's going for all 3. If you put that on, mate, and it comes in, you're burning a few bob. Where else have we got here? Let me have a look. I'm starting on here. Clean sheet, 2-0, 3 points, and beaten run continues. Aye, Calm. Nice to see you, Calm. Seen you just popping in, mate. Good to see you. Aye. How many games is that unbeaten now? Is that on a
I don't
14?
even know. I don't
I
even
think
know.
maybe is everybody in the chat maybe know a bit better. I think it's about
14,
14.
13, 14, I think. Aye.
So is this now the longest that a Rangers manager has been unbeaten? A new manager coming in? Because I know Bill reached 11, I think, 10 or 11.
Don't know. Couldn't tell you, mate.
Is it as many? Callum's saying 16, and we're going to start a wee fight here because RRM's saying 15. So, right, chat fight, come on. Is there anything else you want to say, mate? Anything you want to talk about tonight? Because that's
Aye,
us on to the hour. So let's. I mean, is there any subject you want to
one last
talk about?
just a quick question for you. Right, Cyril Dessers now, right? Ronald de Boer comes out in the summer and says when he's signed that he's a player that takes ages to get going, but when he gets going, he's good. Basically, when he's good, he's good. When he's bad, he's bad. Do you? So he goes through a season, scores 20 goals, right? And then he's got another stuttering start similar to this year where he's scoring deflections, he's not trying, he's different things are going on. Do you keep him? Or do you sell him on if a decent bid comes in?
You always hit me with really good questions. I trust you hit me with the last thing. On his display right now, no. Overall, yes.
Right.
Just the way he's playing just now, he's been doing his job well. But since he started, as we spoke about this other week, they're talking about what the boss said about him. If we could get our money back on him, I think we could buy better. Put it that way, mate. As Scotty decides to disappear because he's fed up talking to me. Cheers, mate. Aye, that's all I can say. Can I just give for all you guys that come to see me? I know most of you do watch the Gallant Few, right? See if none of you have actually paid for the membership. I think it's only about £1 or something like that. It's well worth paying the pound just now, right? I know I'm plugging somebody else's podcast, but these guys did a lot for me. But Scotty and Colin did a absolutely fantastic interview with Mr. Andy Cameron, and it was absolutely brilliant. It was an hour's worth of absolute bliss. I just sat there and I've known Andy Cameron for, well, no personally. I've known Andy Cameron. I've known about him when I was a wee boy, growing up, when he used to do the clubs and that. I think I said to Scotty when we were talking about it, because I think my dad knew him somehow. I don't know if my dad was talking bullshit, but my dad's time he said he knew him or somebody in the family knew him and all that. But I would advise anybody to have a look at that. It's on their paid thing. But it's well worth £1, even £1 just for that alone. That interview is worth the money.
It was definitely
and well done, Scotty. By the way, I thought it was brilliant, and it was great listening. It was actually good to hear from Andy again because it's been that long since I don't think he does as many stuff as he used to do. Obviously, he's in his 80s now. I'll tell you what, he's not changed much.
Right.
Even his voice, right away, you could recognise who it was. The guy's still funny, you know.
I could relate an awful lot to him because he talks a good bit about what Rangers means to him. I ask him about his standards as a Rangers player. I ask him about Tav quite a bit. And he's just Rangers royalty. He's complete. He's golden. Honestly, I really, really enjoyed that. I was just sitting speechless half the time because the stuff the guy was saying. When he talks, you listen. And half the stuff he was talking about was like he was bringing up all the old teams and the teams he was talking about is the teams that my granddad used to tell me about when I was alive. So it's struck a wee bit of a chord to me. Andy Cameron, I really, really enjoyed doing an interview, and I would encourage anybody to head over and get a swatch at it.
Well, there was a load of things I was sitting there hoping, I hope they asked that, I hope they asked that, I hope they asked that. And I'm like, oh, God, I'm not going to ask that. Then I seen the time, I was like, nah, I'm not going to have enough time in that. I'd love to time actually get a wee chat with him. It would be amazing. Obviously, once I'm a wee bit bigger, maybe I'll actually consider that at one stage. Just something that, who was it? I think it was Davy P. Is that thing true?
That's about Johnny McFarlane.
Oh, is that what it is?
I'm not commenting. That's a pile of shit.
Oh dear. I think Johnny McFarlane splits the Rangers crowd quite a bit. And I think it's all to do because he is basically mainstream media. I think that's the reason why a lot of people have got a dig against him. And obviously, his media group, he doesn't. It's not just Rangers, and I think that's because we're Rangers men, and this is all we will ever do. We won't be applauding any other team, but they seem to they'll date with each individual team in the SPFL. So I think that's what people just like. Nah, I'm not interested. So obviously, he must be a Hibs fan. Apparently, just a wee shout out there. Hi there, Linda. Hope you're doing well. Nice to see you in, doll. Any shout outs, mate?
No, mate, no.
You just
Thank
fucking
you
hate
again for
everybody.
having me on. And a night a day, I'm shattered. Just thanks for having me on, and to the next one.
Well, all I can say, mate, is thank you. It's always a pleasure. I love having you on. You are a part of this.
I'll text you my bank details later, right?
Have you got to send me money? Oh, no, you expect me to send you money?
Aye.
Wait, you need to wait to start that OnlyFans, mate. I'll be bankrupt within a week.
Everybody will be paying you to keep your clothes on.
Aye, you better believe it, mate. Aye, including myself. Well, I'm going to give a shout out to everybody that came tonight. Thank you so much. 28 of you is mad bees have came in here to watch us. Thank you so much. As it says in the wee scrolly thing, I've learned something new. I never before subscribe and hit the thumbs button and all the good stuff. Try and share it with your pals and that. Try and get me a wee bit bigger. I think at the last count it was 163 subscribers. In fact, if I've just noticed it's up to 168. I was actually hoping for 150 at this point, so I'm actually further on than I thought. Get to the old firm. Get 200. Is that realistic, mate?
No, not at all.
No?
Not at all.
Sounds so enthusiastic, mate. You are tired, didn't you, mate?
Go for it. Go for it.
You're so tired, mate. I'm so sorry.
Go right. As quick as you can, mate.
Right. By the way, mate, as again, thank you so much.
Oh,
everybody that's watching. Now, I put a wee thing along the bottom earlier on, right? And it's just a wee bit of fun in that. Hopefully to grow the channel as well. So if you want your name up and scrolling by so that everybody can see it after the show, once we're done in that, leave a wee comment and subscribe to the channel. And everybody that subscribes and makes a wee comment, I'll put up in the wee banner, and you can see your name and give you a wee shout out as well. So hopefully that maybe boost the numbers. Now, a couple of guys that have already done it before. Now, this is what it'll look like. It's just like, obviously, Bluebells has been coming into the start. Sharpie, Aldo, Cami. I'll put everybody else has been popping in as well because you have all been absolutely amazing, and I can't thank you enough. So I wish you a good evening. All the best. If I don't see you again, hopefully I do see you again before Christmas and New Year. Have a good one, and I hope Santa's good to you, and I hope you manage to spend it with loved ones. And if you can't manage to do that, we're all here with you as well. We are Rangers family, and we'll all be thinking about you. Have a good night, guys. We are the people. Good night.